Here's a guy more brilliant than the most brilliant professor at Harvard, living as a comedian.
People started saying, oh, Sam said he was the Black Christ.
He would just say, I'm the highest of the high and the lowest of the low.
The word I would use to describe him, I think, is incredible.
We have a thought, we have a song, we have a joy, we have an expression. And the expression is music. And the music unleashes our hearts, our thoughts, our songs, and we are one together, together one. I bless you, my people. I love you all.
His house is always open, especially when somebody really needs something.
He had literally saved generations of kids from Harvard Square. The kids who dropped acid freaked out, starting back in the 60s. I mean, really. They found refuge in his house. He fed people for nothing.
And most of my friends are dead from, drugs, alcohol, or in jail. So my father introduced me to Karmu. And out of that aspect, I'm alive, number one. And number two, I found spirituality, which I didn't think I had because I was running the streets.
Well, either rich people, celebrity people, or the really screwed up homeless, addicts, killers, pimps and prostitutes.
I remember when he did Allen Ginsberg. There's so many people that came through that door.
And then Ram Dass would come, all kinds of amazing people.
There was this whole association of kind of famous people. R.D. Laing came by, Andrew Weil came by.
A friend, Jonathan Leaf, who had worked with Karmu, wanted to take me over there. So he brought me up to this apartment. Karmu was sitting there with his shirt off. So he motioned me over, and he really just did a number on my back. And then he had me stand facing him. He was holding me by one hand, and he was looking me in the eye, and he was saying things like, you got work to do. I want you to go out there and do good stuff in the world. I was completely transformed. All of this weird negative energy that I'd felt coming back to the U.S. from South America was dispelled. I felt really part of the group there, and that stayed with me for a very long time, and I think had a really lasting effect on me.
The typical thing in Karmu's house is that people would come in, often strangers at first time there, and he would focus on them. And he would tell this person to walk through the door, in essence, how wonderful they were. And he did it with poetry. I mean, nobody spoke like Karmu.
You are my wisdom, you are my strength. You're my God-given grace. You're my power, you're my love. A goddess without wings. Young man, you have a gift. You know where you're going? You're going places. You know what that means? You'll never be broke. You know what that means? You're a god, my friend.
He was attentive to what vibration people brought in, and when people were down, he'd work to lift them up, and when people kind of high, he'd knock them down a little bit.
His technique was to build you up, and then you deal with reality. You teach them what they're doing wrong.
He could sense things about people that were very inner.
He was doing a combination of herbal medicine and brilliant psychology with laying on of hands healing.
We were doing all the latest, hottest stuff, Gestalt therapy, bioenergetics, primal scream therapy. He knew every single one. How did he learn that stuff?
If there's one thing I know for sure, he mentally healed lots of people. He got people off of drugs. He got people off, he cleaned up venereal disease.
First it was the gonorrhea, then it was the syphilis, then it was the herpes, and then later was AIDS.
The one gift he had was that he could see past the disease and lift up the person's spirit inside. He really could do that.
To be able to convey to a patient a real conviction that they can get better and that they're okay, I think that's one of the most powerful ways to stimulate healing.
He makes you believe a lot of things that in ordinary everyday life you wouldn't believe.
They're looking for a place in the sun. They're looking for hope. And hope is something, hang on to something. It gives you a fighting chance.
He gave me a place, like he says, he'll give you a place in the sun. And like in 1971 or 72, there just aren't very many places like that.
I don't know anybody else who sits there and lets all these people come through his life, who seems to have virtually no life of his own except the energy he gets out of doing things for other people.
I live at 360 degrees. Tomorrow may be a bad day, tomorrow may be a good day, tomorrow it might rain, tomorrow the wind may blow you down, except as a part of living. And once you do that, you become one with nature.
He was really on another plane, and yet he was right down here with us. This dude is alive today in all of us. Thank God.